Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Did you know that Resource MFG, an employee bridge company in Lawrenceburg, is the first and largest national manufacturing staffing company? They work alongside the top plants and facilities in the area to provide you with job opportunities in production, quality, maintenance, supervision, and all levels of management. Resource MFG has positions open right now to meet your needs today and a full staff ready to work with industrial partners to grow opportunities for this generation of workers and the next. Reach out today and start your employment journey with Resource MFG. At Smith Tax and Business Service, we offer many services. Along with personal income tax prep, we also offer tax preparation for corporations and partnerships. If you're a small business and looking for some extra help, give us a shout and we'll get you fixed up. Call Mary Beth Smith, Marion Matthews, Brooklyn Bates, or Michelle Staggs to find out how we can help you. Located at 208 Pulaski Street, phone 931-244-6633.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Let me tell you about a place that has it all. For your home, bedroom, kitchen, lawn, and more. It's a home-owned and home-operated business that's been around for over 70 years, so you know they're doing something right. At Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, you'll find top name brands for every room of your house, and top brands for the outside too. Looking for appliances, televisions, couches, safes, bedding, mowers, and well, the list goes on. So make the drive today to 824 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg and be treated right.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Michael Marks and Bryant Gobble, and this little white thing that's going to be coming around here is my dog Ellie. She didn't want to leave the house. Want me to leave the house without her, since we do that a lot lately. So she's joining us. So if you see this little white and black thing walking around, that is her just being a needy 13-year-old dog. So that is, yeah, I'm talking about you again. Today is our football preview, guys. We got all kinds of big stuff going on. We've got college football. We got the NFL. It's week 12 of college football. It's week 11 in the NFL. And tomorrow night, guys, high school football.
Yeah, second round of the playoffs.
Second round of the playoffs. Lawrence County only in the second round for just the third time. School history. They're going to Knoxville to take on Halls High School. And big game.
Yeah.
Big game. I mean, every game is a big game from here on out. But after last week, you're certainly thinking you beat a region champion. Anything is possible.
Yeah, and you look at who their matchup was going to be, whether it was Tennessee High School out of Bristol or if it was going to be Knoxville Halls. You didn't know who you were going to get, but you knew it was going to be a drive.
Yeah.
Their records though were sitting right around 500. You had Halls, who was I believe 6-4. Tennessee was 5-4, I believe, going into that game. So it wasn't going to be a team that has been overly dominant this year. And the travel sucks, but it gives you an opportunity to go and get a big win.
Yeah.
I'm excited just from as being the hometown kid watching the high school compete again. I remember their last playoff win. I believe that was 2010. Is that right? And so my sister was in high school at that time. I was one of the kids that was running around under the bleachers and taking glimpses at the game when we'd hear the stadium start to roar, right? And I'd run around and see what was happening. And obviously, my years of going through high school, we won a district championship. I say we, the team won a district championship that year. I was always the guy that was shirtless in the front row, right, cheering on. To my time spending a weekend with you in the press box, calling a game the other night. Knowing what this school has gone through in the past few years with their football program, just rebuilding this year with their new coach, there's been a lot of money and resources invested into the football team, and I know the community is just so proud to have Coach Barnett and this team represent them. Yep. I'm so excited just from a hometown kid perspective to see what they can do tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, let's get into college football tonight. Do we have an NFL game tonight?
Yeah, it'd be Patriots, Jets at Patriots.
Jets at Patriots.
I think that's right.
So not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We do have a college football-wise choice at Old Dominion. That could be who faces James Madison, even though Southern Miss is the top there. But not a bad one on ESPN at 6:30 tonight. We've had plenty of action Friday, though. Two top 25 teams still alive in their conference races. But two top 25 teams certainly susceptible to losses. Clemson's at Louisville, Minnesota's at Oregon. Neither team is going to have it easy here on Friday night.
Well, we've seen Louisville be on the underdog side of the Friday night craziness earlier last month, and when they got that upset win over Miami. Minnesota, a team we've seen on the right side of a Friday night big win when they had that upset over Nebraska earlier in the season. So. Interesting to see how these go, because Clemson and Oregon have yet to play a Friday game this year.
I guess some potential maybe playoff implications if the chips fall right for Louisville, so they can't drop this game. And Clemson, I mean, we know Clemson has the talent. They just haven't been clicking, but it could easily be an upset. Clemson. Where did we say that game was?
It's at Louisville.
Louisville. Okay, so that helps on the road. Seems like the weather will be warm. They'll be able to get their offense going. Louisville will be, so we'll see.
And another curious thing that's really interesting me about this Oregon-Minnesota game, Oregon coming off 6 days rest, Minnesota hasn't played in 2 weeks. Ooh. How much of and Oregon's last game on the road at Iowa, how much of an impact does that have on their team? I know that if there's a guy that's going to get his team ready in 6 days, Dan Lanning's the guy. But just interested to see if that is plays an impact maybe in a close game late.
Absolutely, but never know.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Never know with these teams. It's
sure.
funny. We've got teams that haven't played Friday night games against teams who have scored upsets on Friday night. So anything could certainly happen. Laval's got New Mexico State, 3-6 New Mexico State. They're 39.5-point favorites. They tend to dominate these games. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here.
No,
just love to see some of the young players in there, George McIntyre, guys like that.
Get some of the young players in. Don't have any injuries. Try to, as best as you can, wash the taste of the Oklahoma game out of your mouth. Like that happened 2 weeks ago, but for some reason, like Tennessee fans, especially myself, are still just kind of like, bleh, that was gross.
That so going into a bye week,
it's just sat with us for that long, and I don't know how much New Mexico State is going to help us get that out of our mouth, the thought out of our head. I don't guess it'll really work itself out until we get to the swamp in, I guess, about a week, little over a week, right? Florida week, and then Vanderbilt will be coming up. So nothing newsworthy is great. No news is good news from that game.
Right. Well, let's go to the 11 a.m. games, noon Eastern games. Wisconsin's at Indiana. Wisconsin's played with a win.
Yeah.
They've played, their last two opponents have been top 25 opponents, have played them really good, but Indiana 28.5-point favorites. They may cover that. They may not, but they're certainly going to come close to doing that.
Yeah. With the Big Ten this year, you've noticed that really all those middle-of-the-road teams, the Washingtons, the USCs, they've been really kind of inconsistent with their play. Indiana has not.
Right.
For most of their games against teams that they should beat up on, they have beat up on. I expect that to be the same on Saturday.
Yeah, and Wisconsin just hasn't looked good at all. I'm looking at some of these scores. I haven't watched much Wisconsin football. I am score watching here, but let's see.
They have zero offense.
That's what I'm seeing. Like in their losses, they scored 10, 0, 7, 10, 14. That's the big number, 7. So that's 25. No, that was back in 2024. So, this year, I don't even know if they've scored over 14 points in a game.
Yeah, and you're going to need a lot more than that if you want to upset Indiana, especially on the road.
Yeah.
Another 11 a.m. game, South Carolina at A&M. We've talked about how well A&M scores on the road. South Carolina tends to play better away from home than what they do at home, but A&M 19.5 point favorites. They'll win, but they might end up covering out of this one.
Yeah, I feel bad for South Carolina because they had so much hype coming into the year with Beamer and Lenore Sellers and all those guys, and it's just not gone well at all. Obviously, they had that early season loss to Vanderbilt that really just took any air out of the sails that they had. Sellers has been off and on with injuries, has not looked very good, only 61% completion percentage. It's been tough for them getting the offense going, and A&M, like you said, can score with the best of them.
Yeah, maybe you could think it's a trap game, an early crowd, 11 a.m., maybe not really into it. But there's nothing really for Texas A&M to look ahead to because they got Samford next week. The week after that's their big game in Texas, but they have plenty of time to prepare for that. Texas A&M has handled their food by all means, like they've handled LSU and Missouri the past couple weeks. They haven't really been pushed hard, so there's maybe I could see a cover. What'd you say the spread was?
19.5.
I could see a cover, maybe a backdoor cover, but nothing to worry about here.
Michigan and Northwestern. This is a tricky one. They're playing
At Wrigley.
They are. That's right. They are playing at Wrigley.
Wow.
I love that game. I really do. Every year they always find like a different way to place the field on Wrigley Field that makes it look better and better. I love that they do that. It just feels so old school. Michigan 11.5 point favorites. They're starting to play better. Northwestern has not played good at Wrigley Field, no matter who they play. There's just something about that game. It's been Ohio State, it's been Illinois a couple times. I think Wisconsin was at one time.
Yes.
It certainly favors the visiting team more than it does the home team.
Well, unfortunately, the home team in all these games have been Northwestern, so that's hurting them just as much as anything. I think Michigan is running the ball as good as any team in the country. Both Jordan Marshall, Justice Haynes has been off and on with that ankle injury, but you get him back. That's two guys averaging over 100 yards a game on the ground. Northwestern's rush defense outside the top 50 in the country. I think Michigan covers this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see Northwestern pushing Michigan. I don't know. Just a weird, strange game. I wish there was snow on the ground. It snowed up there, right? Not like this week. Man, that would have been awesome if the snow could have waited to come in for this game. That would have been a scene.
Right so
there's no more snow left, but man, early season snow for this game would have been great. It would have been great.
They missed it by a weekend.
Yeah.
If this game was last weekend, it would have been perfect. South Florida at Navy. Still a lot riding on. Navy's still the top team in that league because they're 5-1. I've been to Navy Stadium for a couple bowl games. It's an awesome place for anyone that's never been there. The way it's set up and what they do is pretty cool. South Florida 9.5 point favorites. They have not played great on the road. Really. I mean, other than Memphis, they haven't played great on the road this year.
Yeah, the Bulls have struggled on the road. Now, given some of their games have been really tough on the road, they've had to go to Miami. They got the win at Florida. But other than that, they have kind of struggled on the road. So I'm not sure how much of that we will see, but Navy has just had a rough go of it the past 2 weeks. They got dominated by North Texas, dominated by Notre Dame. Will they get Blake Horvath back? I'm not sure if that'll play too big of a role in this one. I think South Florida
flavored.
9.5.
I feel like they could cover that pretty easily. Navy's been giving up a lot of points recently, so
and South Florida fits right into.
And I'm about to say, South Florida likes to score a lot.
Right, they like to go.
In the Big 12, Cincinnati still alive in the Big 12 race. They're 5-1. They'll get BYU next week. However, they got Arizona this week at home at Nippert Stadium. Arizona certainly can put up a lot of points here, and if Cincinnati's not on point that day, Arizona not only can win big. Bearcats 6.5 point favorites here.
Yeah, Arizona quarterback Noah Fafita has the quietest stat line you have heard this season because you haven't heard
3 touchdowns, 4
interceptions, 2,200 passing yards, 64% completion percentage, and nobody in the country's talking about it because he plays for Arizona. They've somehow ended up at this point in the season 6-3. I think they can really push anybody. And Cincinnati, coming off a bye week, but before that, I mean, they just got absolutely destroyed by a Utah team that was running the ball really well. Not sure if Arizona can keep that up. I like Cincinnati, though, in this one.
Cincinnati also has BYU next week. Cincinnati can't afford to drop this one if they're wanting to keep pace in the Big 12, so they have to come out of the gate fired up. I don't really know what's going to happen here. I'll be interested to know the result. But
if they win out, they're in the championship game.
Yeah.
That knocks BYU out of the championship game.
Yep.
And then it turns the Big 12 into a one-bid league.
Yep. Yes.
Just like that.
Just like that. I mean, it might end up that way anyways. But the big one, guys, at the 11 a.m. slate, Notre Dame at Pitt. They're giving the Irish 12.5 points at Acrisure or
Hansfield.
Downtown.
Hey, you got the Pittsburgh going.
I've been there way too much.
I'll tell you, Narduzzi has stayed in the press on his coach's show last night. He said it's a noon kickoff, get liquored up. So he's pumped up for this game. Game day's there for the first time in 20 years. It's got a big-time feel to it. You got two young quarterbacks that have been slinging it all across the yard. I'm curious to see if Desmond Reed's going to be playing the running back for Pitt, because you've seen they look like two completely different teams when he's on the field versus when he's off the field. I just feel like Notre Dame has too much on offense, and Pitt, their defense has been a little testy this year.
Wasn't there a weird quote about Pat Narduzzi talking about this is not
their
their bigger?
They lose 100-10 because it's not an ACC.
Does that not feel weird? That I mean,
That's
of course,
Narduzzi.
of course he cares to win the game, but like.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just feels weird with that coming out. I haven't followed Pat Narduzzi that much, so y'all saying that's Narduzzi, I believe you.
That's just his personality. I like my favorite thing about him, and it's what he does the best, is a reporter will ask him a simple question that calls for a simple answer. Hey, is this game versus Notre Dame a must-win game? Everybody said yes. He will say the opposite and give you a good reason.
Yeah, he's very entertaining in those press conferences.
And just the amount he's been talking this week makes me feel like this is going to be a big one.
And just there's something about ranked teams with their season on the line when
Against
they go to Pitt in November or December, where they come apart. I think the way the Panthers' offense has been clicking, I like Pitt in that game. I think they can win it.
There's going to be a lot of points. I know that. This may be one of those that who has the ball at the end of the game has a good chance to win it. But I do like Notre Dame. I think that their defense has the ability to get a stop versus Pitt's defense. I don't know if Pitt's defense is going to be able to get many stops.
Pitt has scored 34, 30, 53, and 35 over the last 4 games. That's impressive.
They're putting some points up.
Yeah.
That with the new quarterback, he's getting the job done. Mike, you think Arkansas is going to beat LSU?
I do. I feel really confident. The Razorbacks have been right there all season. LSU is one of the bottom 2 or 3 offenses in the SEC. They have completely given up on I think they're worried about more things outside of the football program with the Brian Kelly thing. I think that's made a little bit too much noise. It wouldn't shock me if Arkansas went right in there. It's an 11:45 kick local time for Baton Rouge. They're not used to that. I think it could be a quiet stadium and give Arkansas a chance to get a win there.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think it could go either way. I don't know. Will we see an inspired Nussmeier, or will we see a defeated Garrett Nussmeier? Because he's getting the ball again. Mm-hmm. So it'll ultimately depend on him and his character and his ability to lead whenever everything's in chaos. If he can still lead, if he's physically capable, because we've talked about potential maybe for an injury. He hasn't looked the same since last year. So I don't know. I'm not. If you say Arkansas is going to win, I'm not going to argue with you.
And LSU's defense has really struggled in those 3 games without Whit Weeks. Give up 31 to Vanderbilt, 49 to A&M. They looked better last week against Alabama.
Arkansas can put up points.
And Arkansas can put up points with the best of them.
Yeah. Sneaky good one, guys. Tennessee Tech, 10-0. Mm-hmm.
Let's
Kentucky,
go.
they're a top 10, top 5.
Number 6.
They're number 6 in the FCS poll, highest they've ever been. They're at Kentucky, but Kentucky's coming off that big win against Florida. This one,
I wish it was on TV. I wish
there was a line for this. They don't have any line for this.
And it's like they have no faith in the Golden Eagles. I'm not going to pick Kentucky to lose this game or anything, but 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, you just take a peek and it's 17-14.
Yeah.
It might be worth turning on. This is Tennessee Tech's on a 15-game winning streak, their longest in school history, 10-0 for the first time in school history. They've got a lot of momentum. It'd be cool to see them go 12-0, but I think Kentucky probably has them right here. And Kentucky's looked a lot better the past couple of
Probably,
weeks.
I'd imagine a lot of Golden Eagle fans are going to make the trip. Like that's only
Cookville to Lexington.
Yeah. Probably 3 hours maybe.
I wouldn't even say that. Somebody looked that up. I would imagine there's a pretty good traveling base that's going to go with Tennessee Tech, as close as it is and as good of a season as they've been having. I would say Kentucky would be more in upset mode, but we did say that they beat the brakes off of Florida, so that kind of is like maybe Kentucky still kind of has something going for them.
It's only 119 miles, 3 hours and 19
Okay,
minutes.
you're right on the spot there,
that was
Michael.
Pretty good there,
yeah.
right?
I was like, well, that isn't taking the route I would have thought. No. It goes straight up through a bunch of highways. I would have thought
Through the hills of
through
the hills of Kentucky.
Let's look at some of the 2:30 games, guys. UCF at Texas Tech. Red Raiders 24.5 point favorites. And UCF's had some good games, but they're 1-5 in the Big 12, and they're not good on the road. Texas Tech is
Really good.
anyone that goes into Lubbock is coming away with a loss.
Yeah, I would say,
pretty much
look at what
point.
happened to BYU last weekend.
Yeah.
If you think UCF can do much better than that, you might be crazy.
Georgia Tech and Boston College, their coach is melting down, their team is melting down. They're 16.5-point favorites. They probably cover plus.
Boston College has had a rough go of it
Yeah.
this year.
Let's get to some of the more noteworthy games that afternoon. NC State and Miami. Just when you think you've got things going, you could be. I'm not saying Miami's in the driver's seat, but just when you're starting to feel good, some of the other teams in your league are losing, and guess who peeks around?
Oh, NC State.
NC State, Georgia Tech, and Virginia have one thing in common. They've
lost.
lost to NC
Yeah.
State.
Now,
yeah.
given NC State was at home in both those games, they haven't played
Yeah.
as good on the road. But listen, it would not. You look at both of Miami's losses. What has been the problem? Carson Beck throwing picks.
Yeah.
NC State their defense isn't great at forcing turnovers,
Yeah.
but I think as fast as this game is going to go up and down the field, it's going to give Beck more opportunities to make mistakes. I think Miami wins, but I think NC State could give them a scare.
Yeah, this is another case where Miami, high expectations in the preseason, and even for the better half of the year, they're ranked inside the top 10, and now Penn's kind of been putting their season deflated a little bit. Wonder how inspired they'll be to come out and play a 2-3 in the conference, 5-4 overall NC State team. I don't know.
There's some Dave Dorn loves
Yeah.
big games. He
Yeah.
coaches when he's the underdog. He coaches so well in big games. Iowa at USC. I mean, USC is still alive. Iowa's pretty much out of it. Their chance last week, but they can still play spoiler on the road at USC. Trojans 6.5-point favorites.
Yeah, USC's offense has looked really good all season. It stumbled in some games, but Iowa, I think they're going to be really deflated. And then you have to make that drive all the way out west. It's an afternoon game, so that's probably 12:30 local time kick for the folks in Iowa. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. If they can slow down USC, this favors Iowa's play style.
Yeah.
But if USC does what they did to Northwestern and goes up and down the field on them,
Yeah.
Iowa's going to be running circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, USC fighting for a playoff spot, starting to. What were they ranked in the college football playoff? I didn't see it. They were 17th, so they're still in the hunt, I think. So I think USC can take care of business here.
Oh, listen, there's a world where Michigan beats Ohio State, USC
Yeah.
wins out, and USC is playing Indiana in the Big
Ten,
Championship.
yeah.
Could happen.
Championship
They've only
game.
got one loss, and that was Illinois in
Right.
September, if I remember
Yep.
right. The big one, though, and maybe the big one of the day, Oklahoma at Alabama. Remember, Bama went to Oklahoma a year ago. It's kind of part of the Bama revenge tour. They already got Vandy.
Yep.
After losing on the road, now they get Oklahoma tied 6.5-point favorites here.
Yeah, Alabama's actually got both of the teams that beat them last year back so far, Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Oklahoma,
right, I forgot.
Oklahoma, another one.
All those were on the road. too.
Yeah, and all of them were on the so they get them at home 2:30. Listen, both of the newest teams in the SEC have one opportunity left, and they're both really difficult, but they have a chance to prove themselves and shake some things up. I mean, an Oklahoma win at Alabama really has the opportunity to shake things up. I don't think Alabama's going to even try to run the ball because they can't, and Oklahoma's defense isn't going to let them.
That defensive line,
Is
we saw them
yeah,
in person.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're all
they're so
animals.
Yeah.
But-
Can Oklahoma hold up on the back end? I think
and
is what
the
that's going to
thing.
come down
I don't
to.
know if their offense will be able to put up enough points because their offense did not look good last week versus Tennessee. And if Tennessee's defense can hold you, then Alabama surely will.
I'm not going to cheer for Alabama in any way, shape, or form. Tennessee's out of the playoffs, so like I said, I want chaos. Now. And I definitely. Alabama is an enemy, and they are not going to get my vote of support in this game. Like Boomer, Sooner, I hope they hang 50 in Tuscaloosa. Like nothing would make me happier than to watch Alabama get absolutely ran out of the stadium. Unfortunately,
I don't think it happens.
I don't think it happens either. If it was in Norman, I'd feel a little better, but it's in Tuscaloosa, and weird crap happens in Tuscaloosa. What time's that game?
2:30.
That's the 2:30 game.
So
Yeah.
middle of the day.
They're going to be ready to go. It's going to be good weather. They're going to be ready to go. So,
I would say I'm going with Alabama.
I guess Mateer, like,
He hasn't looked good since he's come back.
Can he throw the ball? Like, can he? You say he hasn't looked good. He sure hung enough points on Tennessee's sorry rear ends to beat them in Knoxville.
It wasn't his arm that did it, though.
Yeah.
It was his legs. He had
well,
40 yards on 2 rushes. He was 19 of 29 for 159 yards and a pick against Tennessee. If he can't do much better than that against Alabama, they'll be going home with a loss.
Yeah.
It'll be it for their season.
I know Nick Saban's not walking through that door, but what in the past when Alabama's ranked high, what has beat them the most? It's been a running quarterback.
Yeah.
So I guess theoretically here, if we're looking at similar Alabama defense, then yeah, running quarterback could cause some issues. John Mateer's going to have to make some throws, though. He's going to have to go back to pre-injury Mateer to be able to win this game.
Thanks for talking the whole time.
I can keep going.
While I was fixing our TVs, we were about this close to copyright infringement if I wanted to stop Ellie quit sniffing his shoes. A sneaky good one, the ACC guys. Virginia at Duke. Remember, Duke's still alive in the ACC. They're 4-1. Virginia 5-1 in the ACC, but that loss last week to Wake, which, by the way, Wake Forest might have the sneaky best defense in all of college football. That group is.
They've been able to shut up some really good
good.
offenses. Virginia's offense has looked really slow as of late. They've had games where they only put up 22, I believe, against Washington State. Duke can't win a game outside of their conference. Lucky for them, this one is an ACC game. I think Virginia is going to win it, but if Duke does win it, I'm calling them to win out.
You know who has looked better in the ACC here at the end of the year? Duke has.
Yeah.
I was also going to say Duke's biggest rival, who's won a couple of games in a row, UNC.
Yeah.
I think I've still been keeping up with UNC. They've won a couple straight. They should have beat California, but had two bad turnovers in there. They should have beat Virginia. If they're one play away, 1 2-point conversion away from beating Virginia. So that just sticks out to me. They've won 2 in a row. I hope that they're getting better. I don't know. It's been a dumpster fire, but I kind of cheer for the players to maybe at least finish the season out on a good note.
It's crazy if you have one play change in that Cal game and that Virginia game. This North Carolina team's 6-3 right now,
and they're 4-1 in that league.
Yeah,
and then you're like, well, then you don't
they're
know
playing
really
for ACC potentially playing for ACC championship.
I mean,
so
they figured some things out. Now, given it's against Syracuse and Stanford.
They'll take whatever they can get, though.
Yes.
After the way their season started, they'll take whatever they can get.
Who would have thought that Penn State and Michigan State at this point would be 3-6 and 0-6 in the Big Ten?
I mean,
Nittany Lions 7.5-point favorites. We're not even going to talk about
the fact that game's on CBS and the Iowa USC game's on the Big Ten Network in the same time slot.
Yeah. Crimes.
Criminal
crimes.
Guess who North Carolina has next?
Wake. Yeah. There you go.
At Wake Forest. Good luck. If you score a touchdown, I'll be happy for you in that game. Moving ahead to the night games, guys. Florida at Ole Miss. DJ Lagway, the quarterback again. Ole Miss 13.5-point favorites. They're in the driver's seat. They probably, of all the playoff eligible teams, they probably have the weakest schedule here. But I think the one team that would really be in favor of Oklahoma beating Alabama would be Ole Miss.
Yes.
100% in this spot. But for some reason, they just haven't really, especially at home.
They haven't done anything incredible this year.
They haven't done anything great as far as impressive. They just went out there, stuck their foot on their neck and broke it. They just they play with their feet.
Yeah, and the only game that they've really, so to speak, stepped on somebody's throat was LSU, and they're not really that good anymore. So I would say Florida could give them a shock, but just look what they did last year. But this Florida offense, DJ Lagway has more picks than touchdowns. Jaden Baugh is the only guy that gets more than 5 touches in a game at running back, and their 3 best receivers are all out.
I always look through things that don't really have any implications. Like, I guess if Ole Miss loses, this has implications, but I look through these kind of games with the orange glasses on. What's better for Tennessee? What do you think? What's better for Tennessee? Florida winning or Ole Miss winning?
I think an Ole Miss demolishing Florida, because at that point they have gotten killed on the road 2 times in a row. They're 3-7. I think that would favor Tennessee the most.
They all check out for that time. Tennessee. I need the best scenario for Tennessee to roll into Gainesville and get a win down there for the first time in 20 years. So you think a defeated Florida team who just got boat raced by Ole Miss is going to be the best scenario?
Oh yeah, that Florida team's got a lot
of I agree. I think I agree. I don't want Florida winning this, and I mean this could be a Lane Kiffin kind of prove it to Florida too.
Well, when does Lane Kiffin have that game where you're like, oh yeah, it's Lane Kiffin?
That could be it.
I would say, is this it again?
If this is it, does Florida still want him?
Well, and at this point, Ole Miss has got to look at this like a revenge game. Florida kicked you out of the playoffs last year. They have no chance of doing anything of semblance this year. We can go to the playoff. I think they handle business.
I do too.
Well, in the Big 12, Utah, you talked about in that Talk 25, they're sitting at 12 guys. They got to go to Baylor. Historically, they haven't done well at Baylor. They're 7.5-point favorites there, and you never. I know we said this a lot by a lot of teams, but I think for Baylor and their situation, you just kind of Do you get the good Baylor that shows up and takes you to the brink, or do you get the Baylor that kind of just lets you roll all over?
I with just all the stuff going on with their athletic director and stuff like that, I just feel like Baylor is in a tough spot, similar to like LSU with the behind-the-scenes stuff. And their quarterback's been a bit, Sawyer Robertson, it's been a bit turnover-prone these past couple of weeks. I think if Utah can capitalize with that, the way they have against most of their big wins has been with turnovers. I think if they can do that, run the ball.
What's been happening with their athletic director? I'm my head in the sand.
Well,
I'm sorry.
right now, all that is known is that he is taking a leave of absence from his role as the athletic director of Baylor and the College Football Playoff Committee chairman.
I don't think an athletic director should be on the College Football Playoff Committee.
He went up to a player and complained about his
undershirt
and berated him, grabbed him, right?
Allegedly,
Wow.
this has a statement from the university says that this leave has nothing to do with that, but there were some new reports that came out on Monday. Not sure what they said, but it probably has something to do with that. He missed a booster dinner last night, so it's not a good look.
Yeah, something's going on. And I'm like, why isn't a sitting AD leading this?
Yes.
Well, they're the new guy that they're probably going to appoint is the AD at Arkansas, so you won't have any
Interesting.
Conflict of interest there because don't think we'll see Arkansas in the playoff anytime soon.
We got UCLA at Ohio State. Buckeyes 31.5-point favorites. I think we pretty much know how that one's.
I think this game was TV slotted when UCLA was on that win streak,
Yeah.
and now that they're not, it looks like a terrible game.
Nico facing Ohio State for the second time within a few months.
Is it going to be cold up there for that game?
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be kind of warm across the whole.
60
Eastern
out
region.
there right now, so it's probably going to be.
Yeah, I imagine it's still going to be.
Yeah.
I would
about
say
the
if
same.
it was
It's a
in like the
night game,
20s like
so
it was the last
50.
time.
Might be cool, but it's not going to be cold.
Yeah, and that big stadium kind of blocks wind sometimes. It won't be as bad. A sneaky one at Conference USA, guys. Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State, both 5-0 in the league. Good on both of those programs. So they might be battling for the top seed there in CUSA there. It's on ESPN. You guys don't want to watch any of the big ones, but we've got at the where am I missing? 6:30 slot. Texas at Georgia. Realistically, both of them fighting for a spot in the SEC title game. Both of them fighting for a spot to stay in the CFP.
Yeah, and Georgia is kind of Texas's Alabama, so to speak. Texas cannot figure out how to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
They had 2 opportunities last year, weren't able to get it done. This year, which Texas are we going to get? Are we going to get the Texas that came back from down 17 in the fourth quarter against Mississippi State and their offense looked great, this, that, and the other? Or do we see the Kentucky the Texas that went to Kentucky and struggled?
Yeah.
There's just too much inconsistencies with them for me to pick them. Georgia finally started looking better in the first half last week against Mississippi State. The way they play in the second half, it just suffocates teams. I'm going with Georgia.
I think Georgia handles business too. Again, I'm all for chaos. So if Sarkisian can somehow get it done,
that would be
awesome.
entertaining.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And both these teams can still cause chaos because Bama's got Oklahoma.
Yep.
Texas is going to get A&M after this. What can you imagine what this whole slate looks like if you've got a bunch of Ellie?
You do not like my tea?
knocking over a drink.
She wants to chew the lid. Let me drink my Mountain Dew and I'll take care of it. What if you have just a bunch of one-loss teams? Like, how do you...
I mean, there's a bunch of different tiebreakers, and I'm not exactly sure how they line up.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think it would be fun if we see Texas beat Georgia and Oklahoma beat Alabama, and then we just don't know what comes from that, and where the teams go from there.
I guess unless A&M falls, they're kind of cemented as your first team in the SEC championship. Yeah. I guess the question is who's the next? Is it one of these two teams? Is it Ole Miss? Is it Alabama? I don't know.
Ellie, come here. There, go chew it off. There you go. Well, take it. Take it. There you go. She loves to chew the caps off bottles. So if that's
you're the new Kirk Herbstreit. Congratulations, carrying your dog around. This is the new.
This is Ellie, my diva, 13-year-old dog. Yeah. And now chaos is about to ensue inside the studio. At the night cap, we got 3 games after dark. We got TCU at BYU. Certainly could play foil to BYU does not have it easy down the stretch. They got this game at Cincinnati the next week, home versus UCF. But these next two are going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, and I just don't really know what to think of TCU this year, because we've seen games where Josh Hoover's looked really good and they've gone up and down the field against teams like North Carolina. But then you have games where, like last week, where they just lose a game that they should not lose. I'm curious to see how BYU bounces back from that loss, but I don't think TCU is a physical enough team to compete with them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been paying attention to the dog.
That's part of the entertainment. You give her a 20-ounce bottle, and she kicks it around for 2 minutes.
That's awesome.
Before like that.
It's like giving a kid like a box. Like if you give like a toddler a box, they're just so enamored. They can just sit there and play with it all day.
Like she's 13 years old, but like still is pretty spry.
Man, dogs are the best.
As you can see right there. And the other ones, we got some Mountain West ones. Good on San Diego State, Boise State. Could be fighting for a spot there in the Mountain West there, guys. Both of them at 4-1. They're both at top in the Mountain West.
And that could have some playoff implications, because, again, you could have a Navy upset of South Florida, UAB upset North Texas, and App State upset James Madison. You have all that happen, and you're looking at, who's the next team? Is it San Diego State?
Yeah, and Fresno State's sitting there 3-2. They're also playing New Mexico and UNLV. I mean, that race could get pretty hairy there at the top, but good on. I just love the San Diego State story, because Sean Lewis gets fired by Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Gets demoted, gets fired, then he gets a head coaching job at San Diego State, and in 2 years
has turned them around.
They could win 10 games.
Yeah.
So
and look at where Colorado is this year. I mean, they've got boat raced the last 3 weeks, it seems.
Yeah, I got to watch one of those from start to finish. That was pretty from my perspective.
That one last weekend was pretty good.
It was pretty good. We'll come. We might just put a camera on. Oh, she's getting next.
That'd be great. Yeah, dog segment.
Oh, yeah, that was her. We'll get it. Anyways, coming up next, we discuss what's going down in the world of the NFL when we return here on X Sports Today.
Shop McMaster's Home Gallery for furniture, appliances, and more. And shop quality, shop convenience, shop service, shop local. A family-owned business with a long history of serving the region. We're a one-stop home furnishings destination. We feature brands you know, competitively priced, backed by professional installation and service. You can trust that we'll take good care of you before and after the sale. For your home, shop smart. Shop McMaster's Home Gallery today.
Got primary care? Find your way to better health with primary care by One Stop Medical. With decades of combined experience, you'll find a one-on-one relationship just like the old days, but with the convenience and technology of today. When One Stop Medical does primary care, it's the best. Call today for an appointment and find your way to healthy living. Serving Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Hohenwald. Phone 931-244-8220. Primary care by One Stop Medical at its best.
There are now more ways to save at QuickMart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at QuickMart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Top quality equipment rentals at the right price. It's not too good to be true at Rent Right Equipment and Sales. We guarantee clean, reliable products that are up to your standards. Our family-owned business has been doing that for more than 40 years. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff take care of you from purchase to maintenance. Saws, drills, lifts, mowers, generators, you name it, we've got it. Stop by and see our inventory today, located on Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg.
Did you know that Resource MFG, an employee bridge company in Lawrenceburg, is the first and largest national manufacturing staffing company? They work alongside the top plants and facilities in the area to provide you with job opportunities in production, quality, maintenance, supervision, and all levels of management. Resource MFG has positions open right now to meet your needs today and a full staff ready to work with industrial partners to grow opportunities for this generation of workers and the next. Reach out today and start your employment journey with Resource MFG.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Gibb with Michael Marks and Brian Gobble. Guys, time to get to Week 11. The NFL starts tonight. The Jets at the Patriots. Patriots 13.5-point favorites, and that is our largest spread of the weekend. Nothing, and we got a couple 7.5s, but that is our largest spread of the weekend.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it's one of the larger spreads we've had this season in the NFL, and it usually takes to about the middle point of the year when you start getting these. But I mean, you just look at the Patriots compared to the Jets. Drake May has been awesome this year. Justin Fields has definitely left a lot to be desired. Garrett Wilson, their only semblance of an offensive superstar, maybe Breece Hall a little bit, but Garrett Wilson's out. And this Patriots offense and especially their defense have just looked really, really good the past 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, the Jets traded away, I guess, any hope of them being competitive for the rest of the year, and they knew that. They knew that this season was in the toilet.
I've never seen an NFL team sell like an MLB team does.
Oh,
man. They got rid of all of their defense.
They did.
Now.
They got rid of Quentin Williams, right?
They're getting draft picks.
Yeah. They are. Sauce Gardner on the other end, so their offense is definitely not going to be able to go anywhere, and their defense isn't going to be able to stop anybody, I don't
They're
think.
Almost trying to pull their own Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
That was just one trade. They didn't do multiple trades, but it was just that one trade. I don't know why that escaped me.
I'm okay with them winning. Like I said, from a Titans standpoint, the Jets winning and not having the first overall pick is a good thing.
Right.
Even if the Jets do get the first overall pick, I imagine they're probably going to pick, first quarterback available because Justin Fields isn't yet. So,
and you feel bad because he started the season off sort of well, and man, just the last month of the season, October, early November, has just not been good for him.
Haven't been good. We do have another 8:30 game. I think they're just trying to hit every European country.
All the big ones.
They're going to be in Luxembourg before you know it. Austria.
Yeah.
They're going to Madrid, Spain. The Commanders at Miami. Miami's starting to really put some things together. They are 2.5-point favorites in this game.
Yeah, and the only hope for the Commanders is Jaden Daniels, and obviously we saw that injury a couple weeks ago. He's not going to be anywhere near ready for maybe the rest of the season. Yeah. And the Commanders' defense has just been so bad this year. I feel like the Dolphins are an easy pick in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. Jaden Daniels didn't go on IR though. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. Watching that injury live, they showed the one replay on the screen. That's all you get.
Was all I needed.
But I was like, wow, he's done. But he's not. They didn't put him on IR. They said there was no ligament damage. They really sought after opinion after opinion. So he could come back.
It wasn't his throwing arm. I think it was
his left arm. Right. So he's got to protect that as a runner. He's got to take care of his whole body and be sure his whole body is able to run and take hits. But my thing I don't necessarily enjoy the international games. It's never been my thing. I think the NFL is continuing to push for these because I think the idea is they want to get to an 18 or 17. They play 17 games right now. Right. They want to get to an 18-game schedule.
And it would probably have everybody playing one game elsewhere.
Right. I think that's been the narrative, right? They want one international game for every team somewhere around the globe. That's part of what the NFL is doing. Whether I like it, whether you like it or not, that's what the NFL is pushing for, the national brand, trying to grow that brand.
I think every sport, we've seen the NHL go over there. The NBA hasn't played a regular season game over. They've done.
I would say they've done preseason like Mexico City and stuff like that.
NHL's done some games. Of course, the Cubs and the Dodgers
open up
in Japan. I just take the teams over, like give the home games to teams that don't care, like Tennessee.
Yeah.
Miami.
That's fine. Yeah, great.
Like Jacksonville, like those
Great.
teams that you're looking at $12 to get in.
Yeah.
Just
Don't give me the Patriots and the Chiefs. I don't want to watch good teams.
Yeah, like don't give me Niners, Cardinals
Yeah.
over there.
Well,
like,
at
fan bases actually
the
show
first
up.
of the year, you had a divisional matchup that matters as we're going down to the season between the Chargers and the Chiefs. Like that game matters, and both teams. I feel like that was just an unfair game for both of them to play in in another country.
Week 1 in a different country.
And,
Yeah.
on a Friday, that's just weird all over.
That was just all
but
over.
that game matters. Like the outcome of that game matters because of the closest of these two teams in their division.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the noon games, guys. Carolina at Atlanta. Tampa at Buffalo. That's a really interesting one because of how good both those teams are. But Buffalo at home. Yeah. I just like Buffalo at home. I don't, they're starting to be very sketchy on the road, but I like Buffalo at home.
Do they have a pass game? That's been the big question this year. Khalil Shakir has done a great job at being their wide receiver 1. He's questionable for this week. And listen, I love Baker Mayfield. He's done a great job this year. But going up to Buffalo and playing is incredibly difficult.
Right.
We've seen teams struggle all year. I mean, obviously the Bills are 4-1 at home. Bucks 4-1 away. I think this is going to be our one of our best matchups of the week. Sucks that it's at the noon slot.
Yeah, it'll be a fun game. Be interested to see how the Bills defense handles Baker Mayfield and his limited offense. I say limited because Chris Godwin practiced. I don't think Chris Godwin's going to play. Bucky Irving did practice. He might be a little more interested to play. If he gets on the field, that makes them so much more dynamic, and they can do a lot more things in the run game, in the pass game, swing passes, all that kind of stuff. Egbuka's been playing well. Who are they playing? The Buccaneers will push the Bills. I think they'll push them, but ultimately the Bills will bounce back after a horrific loss against the Dolphins.
You got Houston at Tennessee. You can still get into that game for $12, guys. And me and Mike were just looking at StubHub. There's a lot of 15, 16.
Yeah.
You can sit lower level
For, what was that, 36?
$36. There's some 50s. There's a 42. Yeah, there's a couple like in that kind of that 220 range where like you have your own separate concession stands and bathrooms. Like there's 43.
I don't even know if that's worth going.
There might be a concert or something in Nashville that's more worth your time. I don't know.
Yeah. Chicago and Minnesota. Minnesota 2.5-point favorites there just because you don't know what Chicago team's going to show up. The Giants without a head coach. He's got Green Bay coming in, but
Green Bay's really bad against bad teams. So
and Green Bay's just which Love's going to show up.
And
I don't know.
And my favorite part about this game, Jameis Winston's starting for the Giants. It's going to get weird.
Do the W.
That guy. Isn't that dumb?
No, my favorite one is the look at the guy standing next to you, and he just.
I think I saw the quote that Jerome Ford said last year whenever Jameis was leading the Browns. He's like, every time Jameis is in the huddle and he's telling the play call, he's acting like he's got a surprise to tell when he's telling the play call. That guy's hilarious. Unfortunately, the Giants stink, so I don't think they're going to win.
Have you seen the story of the W?
Yes.
That some of his teammates, like when he was doing, they're like, man, what is going on with this guy right now? Like, it had the complete opposite effect of his team.
Yep.
They still won, but it had the complete opposite effect on his team. Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers 5.5-point favorites there. The Chargers at Jacksonville is really interesting. Chargers 2.5-point favorites. Two unpredictable teams.
Yeah, it's crazy because we talk about you can't bet on continuity in college football that you would like to be able to in the NFL, but these are two teams that, man, you could get literally two completely different teams, 2 different weeks.
Yeah.
Looking at how they've been playing as of late, Jacksonville has lost 3 of their last 4. Chargers have won 4 of the last 5. It looks like they're on a bit more of a streak, and their defense has been playing really, really good for LA. I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one.
Yeah, I think the Chargers will handle business. Trevor Lawrence has just not looked great. I think there's a lot of questions there. I wonder if he's lost confidence of himself, his coaching, his fan base. I think the Chargers handle business. Their offenses look great. Justin Herbert's been good throughout the most part of the year. They had a little bit of a slump right there, I guess, around weeks 4, 5, and 6 maybe, but they've picked things back up.
Yeah,
so
Trevor Lawrence still
be
sub 60% completion percentage on the year, 59.5.
That's bad.
He's got some decent ones on the 3 o'clock slot, guys. Seattle at the Rams.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, 3.5-point favorites are the Rams, but I like the way Seattle's been playing and the way they can put up points. I like Seattle in this one.
What's the over/under? Do we know?
48.5.
Take the over.
Yeah.
That I think with the way Matt Stafford has been slinging it around, he's starting to creep up into some MVP conversations. Darnold has looked great. Both of them have superstar wide receivers, right? Jackson Smith and Jigba's been awesome.
I mean, he's putting up record-breaking numbers.
He's been awesome, and obviously it's been good to see Devontae Adams kind of have a resurgence in his career after the weird New York Jet time that he spent with Aaron Rodgers, right? And then Puka Nacua should be back on the field. Take the over there, bet the house on it, and I don't know who to bet the money line I don't know who to bet the money line on though. That's going to be a great game with NFC West playoff potential 1 seed implications.
I just feel like the Rams have a little bit more on offense than Seattle can bring to the table. And Matt Stafford, I mean, he's probably getting close to 40, 37, and this is probably his best year of his NFL career, stat wise. I mean, he's been insane.
Both of them have really good defenses too. Yeah,
I mean, but you just got to get each side's got to get the 25.
Yeah,
to cover. Sure. Each side just got to get the 25.
I think you can take that.
Niners at Arizona, 2.5-point favorites there. That's 48.5 points there as well over. Baltimore, Cleveland, Ravens really coming alive here lately. The 7.5-point favorites in that game. Hey, you can get in for $12 if you want to go all the way up there. Well, actually, C.J. Stroud is out for the Texans. Yep. Breaking news. Dun, 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 dun. So that might take to win. Yeah, that might take the number from 5.5.
They didn't look bad. Davis Mills. I did watch that game when Davis Mills came in. And they didn't look terrible on offense, so they'll still be able to handle the Titans.
He was a former number 1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school. So
and he's really tall. On top of all of that, but a couple big ones on Sunday. 3:25 Kansas City at Denver. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites, but Denver's been undefeated at home. Not always impressive, but they always find a way to win at home.
Yeah, Bo Nix hasn't done anything exceptional this year, but I think we've sort of seen a new page turn for Cortland Sutton. He's really turned his page because he had a great start to his career. It's kind of been slow the last couple of years. He's found it back again. The Chiefs, obviously, their offense has gotten much better since Rashee Rice has come back. Travis Kelce's been playing excellent this year. I just don't know who to take because, like you said, the Broncos are undefeated at home and they've looked really good there as well.
But the Broncos can't afford a loss more than the Chiefs can. Like the Chiefs' backs are up against the wall.
Yeah.
Like if
they'll be at 500 if they lose.
If they fall to 5-5, like that is like they're not pressing the panic button, but that is uncharted territory that they haven't been in years.
Opportunities after that, and
you got to win most of them.
Right. Yeah.
And the big one on Sunday night, Detroit at Philly, NFC Championship preview we might see between these two in the same location as well.
Yeah, I just hope the Eagles look a little better than they did last Monday because that was a hard game to watch. Maybe have a little more fun this Sunday, who knows? But the Lions have looked awesome this season. I mean, they've had a couple of games where they've had a hiccup, but for the most part, I mean, 44-20 over the Commanders, 24-9 over the Buccaneers. I mean, they have some big wins on the year. I think they get one again Sunday night.
The Eagles, man, it's just, I think we talked about it yesterday. They're boring to watch, but they find a way to get it done every time. And they've already beaten the Rams this year. That's what I was looking for. They've already beaten the Rams. So, yeah, I guess, they do have the lead in NFC.
Yeah, the Eagles' losses are really weird. They're to Denver and New York.
New York's weird. Denver not so much.
Denver on the road.
Right.
It was at Philly.
21-17. They gave up 21 points to Bo Nix and company. The Giants game was weird. That goes into just the parity that happens in the NFL any given Sunday. That anybody can beat anybody, but I don't know. The Lions are a little different now that they have Dan Campbell calling the plays. Who knows what the offense could look like. We know what the offense could look like. It ran well. I guess this is going to be the bigger test, though. Can Dan Campbell call a good ball game against a good Eagles defense?
And guys, the most expensive game On the list is Monday night Dallas at Oakland. Not that anyone should really care about that game, but it is the most expensive game. $290 to get into Allegiant Stadium that night.
I guess there's a lot of cool amenities inside, but it definitely not going to be the game that's the cause for a lot of people to be there.
Oakland, pretty cool stadium. They have one of those. Obviously, it's a new stadium. They have one of those fields, kind of like Arizona, that can like slide out side, so they can grow the grass out in the parking lot, and then push the grass back in. I want to see that in person.
I have seen.
I would say
I've seen it in Arizona
really?
for the Fiesta Bowl, right when they just built that stadium. It takes it like 2 hours.
Yeah.
To roll, like in and out, but it's like
I think it's worth it. I mean, I love watching the grass field, and I hear all the players like really want to push the association to move to all grass and no turf.
Yeah, this sounds really weird to say this, but there's something just attractive and sexy about a well taken care of.
Oh yeah,
field.
you see.
Man.
I would say you see a good fit. Like and the way you see it the most is baseball. Man, if you have a well kept diamond, I mean, it's just.
You gotta give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that will do it for our football preview here on X Sports today. We've got a busy day tomorrow. Obviously, the Lawrence County football game, their second round playoff, trying to get their first ever second round playoff win, make it to the third round for the first time ever. Me and this guy will be on the call for that game at Knoxville Halls. We're looking forward to you're leaving this evening. I'm leaving in the morning, but the 4 hour and 20-minute trip out to Knoxville Halls. I know a lot of people are coming, but for those who can't, we'll be on the air at around 5:50 your time.
Yes.
6:50 our time. So hey,
Good call.
Get the game in.
Yeah, a little early. Yeah,
a little early for you guys for the second straight week. So for Bryant Gobble, Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys on Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow night over in Knoxville.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports